The very first trans-road motorcycle was launched in India in the year 2011 by Hero MotoCorp, and it was a 150cc motorcycle which could take on both off-road and road. And this motorcycle will never ever go out of fashion. I will talk to you guys right after this intro video to tell you more about this awesome motorcycle. Wow, and welcome back to another brand new episode of Never Out of Fashion on Weekend on Wheels, and I'm Girish. And today, like I mentioned, we have the very first transroader motorcycle which was launched in India in the year 2011 by Hero, which is none other than Impulse. This is a 150cc motorcycle, 4-stroke, air-cooled, which is powered with 13.2 horsepower at a max of 7,000 RPM and 13.4 Newton meter torque at a max of 5,000 RPM. And this weighed around 134 kgs. And let's get a little up close and personal with this motorcycle and tell you more about this motorcycle. I will also ride this and tell you how it feels even when you ride this motorcycle in 2021. At any point of time when you watch this video, if you like the video, please consider to subscribe to my channel and also hit the bell icon to make sure you get an update on every video I upload. I hope you guys like this video, and please do share your comment below. What do you think of this motorcycle? Would you like to buy the Impulse or the Expulse? And if you have one of these, please share your experience of the ownership. What do you think of owning one of them? The very first time when people saw this, they went absolutely crazy about this motorcycle. It looked stunning. It looks like an imported bike, especially when it was launched in 2011. Not many people were used to seeing such awesome looking motorcycle. And but then it was priced very high then. I believe, I'm not too sure, but then I think it was around 80,000. I'm not too sure. But then one of the reason for it not to sell was its pricing. Longest travel suspension in its category when it was launched, and this gets a 19-inch front wheel and a 17-inch rear wheel mated with a 5-speed gearbox, and the tank capacity, the fuel capacity is 11 liters and gives a very good mileage as well. And the sitting position, my god, it's brilliant. The riding comfort is very good, and it gets a single seat, so there is no split seat, it's a single seat. And if you also look at it, the exhaust system comes all the way here, so you see the exhaust system all the way up there. And then you also have the sari guard on the left hand side, and there you have the gear lever. And also if you look at the front of this motorcycle, so you get a good big windscreen, very needed, especially for somebody who's tall. They might need this. And also gets a handguard, especially for those off-road buck. And you look at its front mudguard as well. That tells you what this motorcycle is capable of doing. So let's get on to the Odo Console now. So this gets both analog as well as a digital Odo Console. So analog shows you the RPM, and the digital Odo Console shows you the fuel meter. Then there is also speedometer. It shows you a small clock, and then the total kilometer done also. So you can select between trip A and trip B. So there's two different options. Going on to your left hand side, you have the dim and dip button, indicator left and right. You have a pass button here. You have the choke, and then you have the horn. And moving on to your right hand side, you have the power on button. And as is, this motorcycle performs absolutely brilliant. So now let's ride this motorcycle and tell you more about this motorcycle.
So now let's ride this beautiful machine, the Hero Impulse, and tell you how this rides in city, and also is it worth buying this bike now. And let's ride this on a highway as well. Start it. And let's take this ride within the city first.
The bike feels very light, just weighing around 134 kilos. That explains why the motorcycle feels so light. The riding position of the motorcycle is brilliant. It's very comfortable, and it's an upright sitting position where you enjoy riding this motorcycle. Talking about the machine, it's a very smooth, well built machine. The power delivery is very good. You have very nice power distribution while you ride, and also when you talk about the gearbox, very smooth gearbox. You can easily shift onto gears without any problem, and it is smooth as well. Shifting gear in this motorcycle is a dream. It's so easy to shift the gear, and overall the machine is very refined, and the motorcycle ride quality also is very good. You feel the joy of riding when you ride this motorcycle because it's so refined as well. And now let's take this in the city limits and see how this motorcycle performs. The motorcycle does not have the kind of punch that you would normally look at the current generation motorcycle, the initial punch, but then it has enough juice to take you out from any situation in city limits. The motorcycle is very easy to maneuver, it is very nimble. You can easily get onto any small roads or small gaps and come through it because of the way the motorcycle is designed. The motorcycle is also equipped with disc brake on the front and drum brake on the rear. The braking is good, sufficient, it has a decent amount of bite, and riding this in city is easy, so no much stress. It's very comfortable. But then the real joy of riding this motorcycle comes when you take it off road or in bad road. So like I mentioned, it has a 19-inch front wheel and a 17-inch rear wheel, and the long travel suspension is very good and works brilliant on road as well as when you take it off road. So now I'm gonna take this onto the highway, and after that we will take some bad roads as well. In a little bit I have to take this motorcycle from this service road, and we will get onto the highway, and once we hit the highway we will try to do a max out on this motorcycle and tell you how this motorcycle performs. There's a very sweet equal power distribution in every gear, and you can't expect any rush of power immediately, but then the distribution is very smooth. I could easily take it up to 100 without too much of a problem, and I have done a top speed of 110 on this, but you can go up till 120 if you can push this motorcycle. But then the whole idea is not to push this in the highway limits, because the whole idea of this motorcycle was to do bad roads, and I just wanted to tell you overall how does the motorcycle feels. That's the reason why I took it on highway, and I wanted to push it up and see. And yes, you can do touring with this. It does decent 110 without stress, and because it's a little light, you might feel the crosswind pushing you off the grid while you are on highway. So that is something that you would want to consider. Now let's go on to some real bad roads and tell you how this motorcycle performs on the bad road. So I am towards a beach side, and what you can see onto my right is the river, and adjacent to that is the sea. And you see all those boats which are parked are because of the monsoon season. They are not supposed to go for fishing, and hence all these boats are parked. And I normally come in this place to just enjoy the nature and also to experience the kind of bad roads which are there here. And riding this motorcycle in this condition is brilliant, it's fantastic. The entire experience of riding this motorcycle is enhanced when you have bad road, because that tells you how good the suspension are, the front suspension as well as the rear suspension. They work in synergy very good. It can take on any bad road, any slushy road, and because of the 19-inch tire that it has in the front, it can get on to any kind of bolsters and clear it easily. So I am actually enjoying this motorcycle riding in these conditions than the normal road. And yes, the whole purpose of this motorcycle was the first trans road motorcycle which could do both road and also off road. And yes, like I mentioned, it did perform good in the road, and now this is outperforming in off road conditions. Getting onto any of the slush areas and also in any kind of small area, getting through that is very easy on this motorcycle. I am just enjoying this, and let me just stop talking and get around this place, explore a little bit, and I'll come back to you on the same.
Try to find a good place to park, and then let's take some photos with the motorcycle as well. I think this should work, not too sure. Let me try here. Let's try here.
And with that, we come to an end of this video. Hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please consider sharing this video. And until the next time, I'm going to say ciao for now. Stay at home, please stay safe, and please do get yourself vaccinated. Bye bye for now.